Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today I'm going to conduct a sea trial and performance evaluation on a distance cruiser that embodies luxury and style. It's the 100 from Ocean Alexander.
Let's start by going over her operational features.
In the corner of the swim platform, 15-inch cleats. There are doors to the bulwarks to both sides that house the 100-amp shore power cords, and they're both on electric reels. In both of the aft corners of the cockpit, there are 15-inch cleats, heavy-duty warping winch with a foot control just behind, stainless steel chafing gear with big, beefy rollers, and there's storage underneath accessed from the side. I'd like to see a small hawse hole here so that we can put the excess line down into that storage area. To the port hand side deck, we have crew quarter access. There's plenty of ventilation going down into the engine room. Further ahead, take a look at this. Fuel fill ports. And further ahead, notice how the cleat seamlessly blends into the elongated rail. This one, 14 inches. To the starboard side deck, the features are much the same with the exception of the entry to the crew quarters, and there's only one engine room vent instead of three. Fully forward, the ground tackle consists of stainless steel trays that are housing the heavy-duty windlasses. Chain leads down into a road locker that's accessible from a hatch in the center, and the anchors are to the sides of the bow. To the sides, heavy-duty cleats leading to chocks at the cap rail, and of course, the foot control switches are all right within view of the side of the rail. Now let's take a look at the crew quarters access from the transom. Well, now first we have a lazarette storage area. To the sides, the cord reel receivers. At the back, I can see the steering gear with a tie bar connecting the two rudders. Crew quarters are just through the door ahead here. Beautiful watertight door. To the left-hand side, first of our crew cabins, over underberths and a closet. Just across is a workspace with countertop, tools underneath, plenty of storage. Second crew cabin with over underberths and another closet. And now we come to our crew gathering area that consists of a galley with a microwave, double burner electric stove, refrigerator, Corian counter with a stainless steel sink. Just ahead, look at this. Laundry area, storage, stairway leading up to the side deck, L-shaped sofa wrapping around a pedestal table, TV on the bulkhead just in front. Now continuing forward, captain's stateroom. This one gets a queen-size berth, closet, and an ensuite head. Now continuing forward, we have the crew head. This also features a walk-in shower, but the really nice thing about this is its location. We can get to it from the swim platform, so everybody that's enjoying themselves on the swim platform can just come right here through the crew area if they have to use the head. That way they don't have to go into the main salon. Now, just across, we have the two control stations for the water makers and a small octoplex screen. Remember, there's another one at the helm, but from this position we can control all the lights and the electrical systems on the whole boat. Now, get a load of this engine room.
The first thing we notice is the roominess. We measured an overhead clearance of 6 feet 8 inches, and there's 1 foot 7 inches of space between the big MTU diesels. Behind, there's clear access to the shafts, transmission, and trolling valves. The hydraulic steering system is equally easy to access for servicing. Generator battery switches are further up on this aft bulkhead. To the starboard side is the compressor controlling the automatic doors up on deck. Water makers are just above the starboard generator. Forward, we see a sight tube on the fuel tank, the MTU control panels, and notice the clearly laid out schematic for the fuel polishing, fuel lines, and manifold systems. To starboard is the second generator with the air handling system just above.
The helm is obviously very nicely laid out and well designed. Pod at the top houses 3 24-inch displays, all with selectable information. The lower panels include the rest of the electronics that has the latest and greatest, including the octoplex system that gives us full control of all the electrical systems throughout the boat. And yes, we have cameras that are going throughout the boat as well. Wiper controls, Garmin autopilot, twin VHFs, the twin controls for the Maxwell windlass, and the controls for the side power thrusters for both the bow and stern. Behind me, 3 STID helm seats. They're adjustable fore and aft, high-low. They swivel, flip-down footrests. The center one for the operator has a grid control system for the 3 displays. There's a 27-inch destroyer wheel, leather-wrapped, stainless steel, perfect positioning right at the fingertips. Over to the left-hand side, there's a chart table with storage underneath. To the right of the helm, there's office space. The iPad can give us control and functionality of all the electronics and electrical systems throughout the boat. I like the beautiful leather work. There's a 5-inch compass located in the center, and this whole helm just speaks of an Evan Marshall design. To both port and starboard are heavy-duty, watertight, sliding doors that lead us out to the Portuguese bridge, which will give us a full view of the side of the boat and a great view of the front.
Now let's get underway and see how this beautiful yacht handles. There are no side control stations, but a wired remote solves the visibility issue. It controls the twin thrusters as well as the mains, and it worked flawlessly, as can be seen here. We clearly had zero room to spare, but managed to maneuver her out and into the fairway. Once in the clear, I set aside the remote and took control from the helm, and quickly came to appreciate the nearly 360-degree visibility from this center-mounted position. Ocean Alexander engineered the pilot house so it wouldn't need closely spaced mullions, which really opens up the view. As we head out of the channel, let's check out the 100 Sky Lounge specifications. She has a length overall of 100 feet 2 inches, a beam of 23 feet, and an empty weight of 229,900 pounds. With 50% fuel, 77% water, and 4 people, we had an estimated test weight of 246,690 pounds. Our test boat was powered by twin 2600 horsepower MTU 16 V2000s, turning Shanghai 52 4-blade propellers in slight tunnels. We reached the top speed of 26.4 knots at 2450 RPM. Best economic cruises subjected to weather, the 100 Sky Lounge is being operated at displacement or planing speed, and the range is fairly linear throughout the power curve. At the recommended MTU cruise setting of 80% load, we ran at 22.2 knots with a 200-gallon-per-hour fuel burn that produced a range of 399.9 nautical miles. Drop her down to 10 knots displacement speed and she'll run for over 1,700 nautical miles. All this, of course, while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 4,000-gallon total fuel capacity.
Okay, so in a following sea, as expected, it's a pussycat. Very nice boat to handle in these rough conditions. Put it on a beam, we're taking some spray, physics being what it is. But the stabilizers are doing a nice job of keeping us fairly level. There's a little bit of pitching, but for the most part, it's a comfortable ride. I didn't expect that we would be getting good numbers out of this trip, but we actually did. Now in a beam sea, I expected we'd be doing a lot of wallowing back and forth in the trough, but we're not doing that at all. She's staying nice and stable, and the pitching is still minimized. We're taking spray to be sure, physics being what it is, but as far as the ride goes, hands off, I don't even have enough to, I'm not even holding on to anything. I've brought us up to 80% speed, doing 19.1, 20 knots. It's fluctuating because we're going through 6 to 8 foot seas, so there's some up and down factor to it. We're throwing water well to the side, so it's a fairly dry ride. And again, not even having to hold on, it's a great ride. I just cannot believe what a beast this thing is and how well it takes it. Depending on your heading, there's going to be a position where you're going to get some glare off of this stainless steel rail. It's all polished, so I would go for powder coated on that, at least from midships forward, so that we're not getting that glare.
Now, upon returning to the marina, we got another shot at testing the accuracy of the handling and the wired remote, as we had to come in, slip the bow between a boat and finger pier, make a 180-degree turn, and back her down the fairway into our tight slip again. And as expected, she performed flawlessly. While this might not be considered an owner-operated boat, it certainly can be managed by a competent owner, let alone any experienced captain.
Well, with an offshore-capable yacht, it's important that she has the ability to handle herself well in less than ideal sea conditions, and I think we've shown that today. And that's my full sea trial and performance evaluation of the 100 Sky Lounge from Ocean Alexander. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.